Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Spending time all alone, sending my songs through the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the Bluez let this last.
I don't know if the earth is painted blue. I don't know if that's really.
Great sounds of Watson with Outside on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, with my partner in crime as I adjust my camera. Long Island raised, Elm City made, E.D. Bluez is in the building. Easy Bluez, you are better with introductions more than me. Who do we have with us today on Behind the Brand? Go right ahead, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go in the Wayback Machine, but not too far back. We're just going to go back to a Sunday. It's Sunday evening, 6 o'clock. Okay, the house is buzzing and filled with these incredible aromas that just touch your soul and give you that huge hug. Okay, you got grandma in the kitchen, stirring everything up, being the conductor of this amazing orchestra of taste and smell, right? You sit down at this long table. You don't sit next to Unc because he had one too many watching the game earlier, and he's getting a little rough and he's punching in the arm, and you want to be able to eat, but it's okay. It's fine. The children are running over to the table. They're sitting there. They're so happy. You get this incredible plate, and in that plate, you see the love that's there. You can feel it. It's almost heartfelt because that is the time when we are all together and we are all celebrating this amazing gift of life. Now, I tell you that story to bring back the now 3-time Behind the Brand chef champion. The chef is here. The chef is here.
We're in the building.
Put your hands together for the man behind Heartfelt Catering. Not if you're driving, keep your hands at 10 and 2, no accidents. But mentally, wrap your arms around Aaron Lee. Bro, how you been? What's good?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for that awesome introduction, man. I don't think I could introduce myself like that, bro. So thank you. I appreciate that. You know? God is
Feel free
good,
to clip
man.
it.
Everything is well, man. I really can't complain. Yeah, I just, kind of just been sticking to my script. And things been working out well. So I'm blessed for that, and I'm just looking forward to see what's next on the journey,
Really great to see you build your foundation just over these past year with Instagram. We see you just going to different people's houses just by yourself and just making these exotic and great meals. I mean, I saw you doing brunches for different families. I saw you going for a different type of events, not just in Connecticut, but just all around. How has this journey felt? Just keeping to yourself and just building your foundation. And this is also a 2-part question. You went from heartfelt catering to heartfelt eating. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
Now, why is that?
So to touch on that, it's really because I'm turning the heartfelt into a whole brand as opposed to just focusing on the cooking now. Mm-hmm. So I want to be able to do public speaking. I want to have goods, services, meal preps. So now, and then also there's a few other people, and because I'm trying to create the brand, I want to be nationally, right, globally. And there's some people who have the heartfelt catering in other states. So that's part of the reason why too. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it's really because I'm trying to take it from, just to a company, I want to start coming out with accessories and goods and services. Like I said, public speaking, meal prep. So it's so much more coming than just the catering, so to speak.
So the goal is outside of Connecticut.
Outside of Connecticut, man. I'm actually headed to upstate New York tonight. I got to be there.
Nice.
So that's nice. Rock Point, New York. There's so many different towns and things we go up there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. It's been a journey, So I was just in Long Island last weekend.
Right.
It's been great, man. I can't complain. I just been running this marathon, man. Seriously, you know, it's been
Now,
yeah, that's the reason why I'm changing the
what
name.
part of Long Island, Aaron? Because Easy, he's from the Long Island. He knows the area better than I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just in was it New Windsor?
Yeah, New Windsor. New Windsor's got some money. That's a good spot to be.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. That was a good experience. I was there. I did it for a family, a Haitian family. Had to be at least 12 to 15 people there. That was pretty dope, man. It was their mom's birthday, and they wanted to surprise her with something. So that's the best part about the journey. I mean, fortunate to be here talking to you guys because, like, you guys have been following me on the journey, right? So then sometimes when I go back and watch the interview from when I first started to where I am now, it's crazy because, like, I'm really living out all the things that I spoke on, or I've been speaking on. So I don't even know what to say sometimes, honestly, man. I can't put it in words. I got to keep going, and God is good. Give all the praise and glory to God first, you know?
Absolutely.
Amen. And that's really kind of what I wanted to talk about, too, because from the last time you were on till right now, there has been a major change.
Yeah.
And we haven't announced it really on the radio or anything like that, but you have done it. You have 100% taken the investment and you have bet on yourself. You are no longer working a supplemental income job. This is full time now.
Full time,
You are one of the reasons why we put this show together.
Definitely. Thank you.
Because we've got to sit here and be part of your journey and to watch you from it being an idea and an inkling to being this incredible Mona Lisa we are starting to see, painted out in front of us has been amazing. What was that moment like to say, okay, I'm dropping my 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's time to bet on me.
I was in Florida. Actually, I was doing the International Women's Beauty Pageant.
Okay.
I worked with a friend of mine out there who was competing in a competition, and she wanted me to sponsor her, and that was a way for me to network with a bunch of different women from all over the world. So I took that as a great opportunity to showcase my talent and skills. It ended up turning out to be a really great idea because the women were starving during the competition because they didn't have like food, but at the same time, they couldn't eat like these hearty, big meals, so to speak. They needed things that was light, vibrant, that would cool, but that would help them, sustain energy while they were, participating in the competition. So I was fortunate enough to have all like the stuff that I do, like, some vegan options, vegetarian options, some light options that I bring. And it was a great opportunity. So I want to say the first night I was there, it went really well. I got to meet everybody, meet all the women. I passed out all my snacks, literally. And then I probably had like about 12 to 15 snacks. So then left over. So then when the event and everything is done, there was a big valet service. Obviously, we're in South Beach, we're in Miami. So it's like, you already know how the hotels and things are.
Right.
So there's a huge valet service that was looking out for me because obviously I'm not in the hotel, but I'm just like, coming in and out. They could make a fuss, but they wasn't. They were showing love or whatever. So the rest of the snacks and things that I had, man, I kind of just passed them out to all the workers and things of that nature. They were so happy. Like, So then maybe the next day, the second day I had the event, boom. It was like more like the morning time or evening time, I want to say. No, morning time, afternoon time. I finished up and I'm like walking back to my car or whatever the case. And I get a call from the university and they're like, hey, Aaron, like, mind you, I've been out on leave for like 2 months. I haven't been thinking about the university at all. So like, I'm just living my life. It's been a great summer. I've been killing events and now I'm here in Florida killing this. I'm just loving my life, right? So then they call me like, they're like, yeah, Aaron, we can't wait to have you back on Monday, da-da-da. And I'm like, there's no way I can go back, like down here, people respecting my craft, looking at me as a top chef, like showing me love, do I really want to go back to the university and be reduced to a position or somebody, So I think that was my moment then when I knew like I was putting my 2 weeks in. So that's literally what happened. I was on the phone. They told me what my return date was for my leave. And then I ended up just calling them back. Like, you know what? Like, how can I put my 2 weeks in? And she showed me just write an email, which is on 2 weeks, send me the email. And that was that. I literally sent the email, while I was in the middle of working at that event. And then that was that. I didn't look back since then, you know? And yeah, the rest is history, man. It's probably been what is it now, February?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunate enough to say, you know, I haven't missed the university, you know, I haven't missed a check, you know. I'm still living the same life. I'm sustaining myself, sustaining my bills and maintaining and growing. So God is good, man. I feel like the first year is to just, I guess, see what you're made of.
Right.
So I like to say halfway through it, you know, I'm doing well. I'm been able to sustain myself. It's going good. So now I'm just focusing on trying to advance. Like we spoke about me doing a bunch of events for myself. Now the events are changing. I'm starting to find, because my food is, I guess, better now, the quality. So now I'm doing more things where people want plated meals. People want wait staff. They want bartenders. So now things are changing. Like I am reaching out little by little now to get some help. When I'm traveling, I am bringing a helper now. I am bringing somebody now sometimes so now that's what I'm focusing on, expansion. Like, and I'm looking forward to see, you know, what's in store, definitely. But that was my moment. When they called me and told me I was coming back, I was like, man, I ain't coming back, man. You know, I can't, you know. No,
you hit him with the
everything, you know, but I got to move on. So.
Well, they always say that your gut feelings are your guardian angels. So that is definitely a good sign. And I don't blame you. If I was in Florida, I'll quit too. With all the sunshine and
it's beautiful.
I'm in Miami
Beach. Yeah. And it's just me thinking about like having the time and energy, effort to do the things I want to do and work on it 100%, like how I really want to. That's the best part, you know, waking up, determining my own schedule. Just now, I was like in the store grabbing some things for an event later. And the lady was like, oh, the cashier, she's like, I hope you're having a great day today. I'm like, honestly, man, you know, it's a great day. Like I feel great, you know? So it's good, man. It's a Monday, right? And here I am dictating my own schedule, time. I'm not like, oh man, I got to get up and be somewhere at some time. So it's blessing, man. That's all I can say, you know. Sometimes that's good, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's not explainable. I think the best thing is you get to pick your own problems when you become your own boss. And I think what's the best thing about it is that you have good problems. You know, you're getting all this events. You're getting all these people contacting you. You're on the show for a third time. I mean, these are good problems. Scheduling your events. Like Easy has the three of you. This is the third time you're being on Behind the Brand. I'm happy that we're part of your evolution. Now, you're a man of challenges. You always like to challenge yourself. Yep. Tell me about the challenges, just even going to the family's house, the recent house you went to, a Haitian family. I mean, I don't think you're Haitian, but like, tell me about making good quality Haitian food for a Haitian family, not being part of that background. Tell me about that challenge. Like, is it a little bit, you get a little bit nervous wrecking doing that? You don't want to ruin anything? Tell me about that. What was going on through your head?
The good thing about it is most of the time when you do events like that, for different cultures, they usually don't want their style of cooking. They usually want something different.
Wow, okay.
So that's always usually the blessing. Sometimes what I will try to do is when I'm doing something different, I'll incorporate things that I know they'll use in their food, like particular seasonings, particular sauces, or vegetables, spices, things like that. And I'll implement them in maybe a different style of cooking so that way they get the same kind of flavor profile, but they are getting, you know, my style of whatever the dish or entree it is that they like, right? So say if I'm making like a nice strip steak or pasta, whatever it is, they may want some salmon or some seafood, that I may incorporate the flavors that they'll use to make their dishes, but just on whatever the dish is. So it's like, they're like, wow, this is good. Say, for instance, you get an Alfredo or you get something special like that, right? But it's going to have their kind of twist on it. So when they're tasting it, it's almost like I'm incorporating their style with my style, if that makes sense. So most of the time, it's just like, it's nerve-wracking a little bit because you proving yourself when you come in. Obviously, when you working for somebody, like everybody's a chef. You got aunts, grandmas. They've been cooking for a long time. They use original recipes and authentic everything. They do things from scratch, just a whole totally different level of style of cooking. So when they see this young kid coming up in here, they eyeballing me. They look at me up and down. They like, yeah, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's the biggest part is just getting them comfortable. So what I like to do is when I go into these situations is I really big on like having some rolls, a salad, or try to get the appetizer out, something quick so that they could get a taste of food, and then like it makes them more comfortable. And I feel like that makes me comfortable too. Like, so if I get the appetizer out or the salad out and they're liking that, they really love that, then it just gives me that boost of confidence to continue. I'm already assuming everybody's
Aaron,
going to.
but I just have to let you know we do have to continue on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Raised, Elm City made, EZ Bluez is in the building. We got Chef Aaron Lee on Behind the Brand for a third time, and I hope I didn't lose your train of thought, Aaron. Go right ahead. Continue.
Nah, we good. Nah, so yeah, definitely. That's the biggest thing. I like to try to get a dish out, entree, salad, roll, something to keep the people, entertained, get them a small taste of what I'm doing, what I'm serving. Once they like that, then that's a boost right there. It's like, okay, boom, they're liking that. Now it gets me more comfortable. I can get into my zone, my vibe. If I usually get the appetizer things out, I got more time now to focus on the main course, the entree. And part of it is just preparation too, like being prepared, having prep. So that's the biggest thing. But sometimes it is nerve-wracking. I mean, you coming in there with ingredients and things, nothing's cooked. So people are looking, they're trying to see what you got, what's going on, looking you up and down, So that's the biggest part. But most of the time, I really take that challenge on because I know by the end of the night, it's going to be like, like for instance, that night, by the end of the night, I left with a round of applause. Everybody was happy. They loved the food. They were, and I was fortunate to be able to create memories for them. That's a night that they'll remember for a long time. And it was my food that brought it all together. So that's the best part, to come in and kind of like, I guess not prove wrong, but at the same time, just to show your worth. Like come in, everybody's like, oh, okay. And then at the end of the night, they're like, wow, oh my God. They thank you. Like, this is so good. The food was so wow. Like, and I'm just like, God is good. It's heartfelt, Just thankful. But the biggest challenge I want to say is just working like now, even though like I'm not working 9 to 5, I guess you could say, I'm working twice as hard. Like, and it's good. But it's just a lot of work. Like for instance, when I did that event in Long Island, I had 2 events in Queens that day. So in the morning, I had to be the Forte Prep, which is a good friend of mine, Graham Brown. He started the school. He's from New York City. He started a school out in Queens called Forte Prep. Okay. And that school has been about 5 years. The crazy thing is he started Forte Prep and he was working on that around the same time I started Heartfelt.
Wow.
So we kind of grew up together. I actually met him at the Yale School of Management when I was a student there. When I was a worker there, he was a student there. We just became friends there. Just, he was coming to eat the food and we conversate, things like that. So we pretty much watched each other grow together. And this was my second time coming to cook. They had a event for Black History. They wanted a Black History lunch. So I went down and did I did curry chicken, mac and cheese. I did chopped turkey barbecue. I did potato salad. I did cabbage and collards with cornbread. And they loved the food. They was like, wow. But mind you, I had to get up at 3 o'clock and I had to get all the food. I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Start preparing, getting everything together. I had to have the food cooked by about 11 o'clock. I had to jump on the highway, get all the way to Queens, right? I get to Queens, it's about 1:30. Now I got to get the food to the second floor. I have to set up all the chafers, get the food up and running. Now it's hot, shut up the fuel, everything, right? Then after that, they want me to say a little piece. So now it's like, after you do all that, right? Now you gotta, you gotta have showmanship, right? You can't just set up everything. Now people want to talk to you. So now I have to say 5 minutes to speak my piece to the group. It's a group of 55 people, so it's not like a small crowd, right? So you like, how you doing, Chef Aaron, blah, blah, blah. I hope everybody's enjoyed the food. So I'm just saying that to say there's so many hats that I'm wearing now, right? So everybody, oh, wow, that's an 8-hour shift you done. No, after that, I got to go to Long Island now, right? So now I got to unpack everything up there that I got, get back downstairs, jump in the truck. Now I got to drive an hour to Long Island, So then I get there and it's everything all over again because everything's from scratch. So at this point, it's probably like 5:30, and I've been up since 3 a.m. I got another whole event to go, right? So I'm there for about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I don't leave from there till about 10:30, 11, because it's a 3-course meal. I'm putting out salad, appetizer, lamb chops with the salmon and the butternut squash with the risotto. Like, so then the appetizer was I did a baked Greek shrimp, which was really good. So just the components of doing all those things, by the time I'm finished, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, but I'm still in Long Island, right? So now I gotta pack everything up. I gotta pack. So I gotta call y'all. I gotta pack everything up, and I still gotta make it to Connecticut, right? So now when I get home, it's the next day, right? Literally, I woke up in the morning. I didn't finish working till the next day. So it's like when people talk about what are you doing or the grind, that's the challenge right there. Just continue to push yourself. And just really, that's insane. Like you really got to be, challenge yourself and really just be insane if you really want it, right? Like, so then that's just two events. My phone is still ringing the next day. I got to set up and do it all over again. People expect the menus, and that's the biggest challenge right now. So now I'm trying to relieve some of that work, whereas I need somebody to handle my invoices, somebody to take my inquiries. I need somebody to come and help me set up, maybe another chef sometimes when I'm doing parties over 10 plus people. I need a bartender, somebody to do service and waitressing sometimes to come with me. So that way when I'm cooking, I don't have to be trying to serve the food at the same time. So these are some of the things that I'm finding, I'm starting to put together. I got to do invoices. I got to keep track of my books now, right? Expenses and stuff, receipts, taxes. So
there's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. When you start doing your business, it's a lot to put together. It's not as complicated as it sounds though. Like it's really a thinking thing. I read it was a clip that I posted on my story the other day. The lady, she was really smart. She said half of people, or majority of people, can't get past the thinking stage of what they want to do with their life. And that's why they get so caught up, because they're thinking so much. If you just stop thinking and doing, it's even like right now, like tonight, it's in my brain. Oh, I got an event. I done did multiple events. I done been multiple places, right? But in my brain, I'm still have anxiety about how well I'm going to do. And a lot of people don't get past that part. They get so caught up in the thought of something not happening or what could go wrong, or the thought of it being so challenging.
Which leads to my next question, Aaron. How do you keep calm?
Really just trusting myself, knowing what I can do.
Right.
Having the experience from being in multiple different events. And it's got to be in you, not on you. I feel like you got to be made to do these things. Like you got to really want to be on that spotlight. I feel like the experience that I had from working at the university, dealing with so many people, being in those open face kitchens, open style cooking, that gave me the confidence as well. And also just trusting that what you have is a good product, trusting that what you're serving is it's a great deal. Like you come in here, it's just, I don't know, it's some type of confidence. That's why I like to drive, to be honest, because you take a drive for an hour and a half, you get a chance to think, be calm, cool, collect your thoughts, listen to a podcast, or listen to an audio book, or you just jam out to your music, whatever the case may have you, Another thing is while you're there, you just try to be cool, so it's a lot of festivities going on. Try to be professional as a chef, right? Have a glass, they also give you some wine, maybe have a glass of wine, something to just cool you down, calm you down once you get things calm and cool, collected, things like that. But really, it's just about trusting yourself, preparation, Preparation is key. And just once you start doing certain things after a certain time, this is good now. It's like, all right, I done served this stuffed sage mushroom 5 or 6 times to a few different parties. So you kind of start to figure out, all right, I know this is good now. That's another thing. When you start doing so many different events, that builds confidence too, because you done reached a lot of different people with your food and your flavors. So you already confident in knowing that, okay, I got a good product. Now it's just all about, executing. That's probably the hardest thing, executing all the time. Like, but it becomes like anything else. Like it's like riding a bike. Once you
start.
Once you start, you keep going.
Finish. Easy, go right ahead.
There's so much, there's so many little nuggets in there, and so much incredible stuff to hold on to. But before that, we also would like to apologize if there's any sort of traffic on Crown Street right now with all the amount of food you just said. And now everyone right now is currently hungry and trying very hard.
That's so good,
yeah. I'm just saying, it's rough downtown right now, all because of your amazing words. But really, there are so many incredible nuggets. One of the first nuggets you actually mentioned in our first segment that I don't think anyone really paid attention to, and I kind of want to highlight that. You had your you had your snacks, and you had your event. You also made sure you took care of the staff that was working in that event. and that gave you a little bit more options and made things, easier to come and go as you are. Making sure you understand the venue that you are going to, making sure that you are taking care of the staff, even if it's not your event, making them feel appreciated will go a long way for those events moving forward. Definitely. And a lot of people forget that. A lot of people get in there and they're just focused on their business and their task itself. Yeah. And that then starts to deplete their relationships. Yep. And that could destroy your brand. So there, that's a huge point. And then on top of that, you then stated every time you make sure you show up. And it's not show up to punch a clock and, get a paycheck. It's show up to show out. Yeah. You take that moment, you're like, it's okay. I know grandma's been cooking for a really long time. I got this totally under control, and you understand that it needs to be that quick window. I'm going to get something in their face right from jump for two reasons. One, I want them to know how awesome it is from jump. Two, it needs to run into, the way that I have this thing planned out. And the other thing is when people are chewing, they can't talk to you. So I totally understand and I respect every single aspect of what you got.
True indeed, bro. True indeed. I try to be that light, just bring a source of great energy. The biggest thing that I hear when I do these events is that, wow, man, like you're great. Like a lot of people, when they reach out to chefs, I guess they don't get the same experience. A lot of chefs are rude. They don't really like to explain themselves. Sometimes they're super cocky, expensive.
A lot of ego.
A lot of ego, yeah. So like when they run it to me, or I'm at the events, or even just before I book with them, I'm on the phone just talking about the food or whatever it is, the opportunity may have you. They're like, wow, you're such a, like I booked them just off the strength of the conversation, the energy that I'm bringing. Sometimes they're like, wow, like, they'll be in deciphering between me and 2 or 3 other companies, but they like, I like you, I like your energy, I like your vibe. I try to create a menu that's dedicated towards them. I don't just try to give the same old, I'm not living by the rules, guys. Like, like people are like, oh, you need a menu. Nah, man, I don't give people a menu. I have something on my website that people can refer to if they're stumped, but I really like to have a 5 to 10 minute conversation, or maybe through text, wherever the case may have you, to really pinpoint out what it is that the people want for their event. Because for one, I understand that this is their hard-earned money. People work hard for their money and they want to have a great service. So why not include them in the details of what kind of protein they want, vegetable they like, the desserts that they like, as opposed to just being arrogant and just serving up what you think is good, right? Sometimes giving like people more option makes you more, I guess, gives me more variety. It makes me more like talented, gives me more experience, as opposed to just being like, all right, here's the menu, check this out. You can pick from one of these options, or whatever the case. Oh, if you don't like that, or sorry, or whatever, you can only sub out. Nah, I really sit down and pinpoint out what it is the staff wants, a customer wants, whatever the case, what they like, what they don't like, allergies, whatever the case may have you. And I feel like that's another part of what really helps me and connects me with them before I even get to their house. Because a lot of the times people are like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, or I want to surprise my husband, or a lot of fellas hit me up like, oh man, like tonight is the guy, he wants to do something special for his wife, his girl. So, you like, you're not just cooking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really making like a day special for somebody. Like, the husband is going out his way to cook something for his wife because she may be busy, or the wife may be going out his way to do something for her husband because she know that they're busy, or some people just moved into their new house, or it's Father's Day, or it's their birthday, or you know what I'm saying, or brunch, or Mother's Day. So every time you go in to cook, you're not just cooking, you really like creating it's like I said, you're creating a moment, a memories, it's going to be a time that they're going to remember for sure. So I try to make sure that they include it in that.
Right.
Definitely.
No, it's extremely important. And I love every aspect of that. The other thing is too, chefs can be really intense. And also coming from like the reality TV culture, most of the shows we've seen with chefs, people get yelled at and cursed at, and that's the way it goes. So
Gordon Ramsay
it's gotta
over there.
be amazing. Yeah, well, it's got to be amazing to like when you're dealing like I've never known anything about you as a person. I'm just picking up the phone and I'm like, oh, I got to talk to the chef, and expecting confrontation and to get this amazing good naturedness. And for those at home who think this is an act, I've been in this man's car for no other reason than I just needed a ride.
Yeah.
This is who he is.
Yeah,
you know,
facts,
this is 100% who he is. You know, and
yeah,
it
and it's
wasn't
not
because I really
it don't
needed the
come off
ride.
like
Exactly.
yeah, it's not gonna come off like, you know, like a commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna talk to you like how we talking now and build, but it's just the type of person I am, the energy and vibe I like to create, you know. I just try to like be, you know, respectful, mindful, courteous, right? I feel like all of that plays into hospitality. Like, it's about being hospitable, you know? So I'm not just coming in to cook. And I think that that's the biggest thing for people. And I feel like that's the kind of I guess advantage that I have over other chefs, because most chefs have worked just behind the scenes, because I started like at the university, from the dish room to, you know, the salad and deli, to the server, to the barista, right? Then finally to a prep cook, then a chef. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I've been on those levels, so I understand customer service. I understand how the customer feels, what they want, what they need, and then I'm implementing the food with that too. So
now, when you say that, Aaron, would you rather take the inexperienced worker and build them up, instead of having, you know, the experienced, top, ego-driven, you know, yelling chef to work with instead? Would you rather pick that option and have a good, humble person instead, who's insignificant and, like, you know, inexperienced, than that, you know, that hard driven, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, it's good to have those hard driven, maybe as mentors, but I feel like if you're trying to build a team, because I used to be that young guy, there were not a lot of knowledge, right? And somebody took me in and gave me an opportunity, right? And taught me. So I would like to have that opportunity as well, to teach others who are hungry, you know, noble-minded, want something for themselves, right? Need opportunities, you know, young, maybe got children, something, looking, just people that's hungry and really want it, you know, and that really been through some things, that have experience, so that, you know, they know how to treat, because that's what it's about, man. At the end of the day, somebody's paying you their hard-earned dollar to come there, right? So what are they getting? Are they just getting a meal, right? Or are they just giving them food, you know, 2 courses? Or are they coming away from this thing feeling like, wow, you know, man, like this was an experience, you know? Like, that's what it's about. Because it's expensive to come to book, right? So it's like, what are you getting, right? Try to give them good food, a good time, good vibes, happiness. And that's what I feel like I bring. It's like a source that's behind me too, if that makes sense. Because like I said, when I was just in Long Island, the way people clap and cheer sometimes, it's amazing, guys. Like, I'm not one to always be on, you know, recording and things, or, you know, how that is nowadays. I try to, but like, really, man, I should, because it's a blessing, man. Like, man, that's like doing God's work, to be honest, to see people so happy over the food that you're creating and giving them, you know. So
I think that's absolutely incredible. And kind of to go about that a little bit too, I think it's a matter of, you need the right people in the right places at the right stages in your life. You do need those hard-nosed chefs when you need that mentor to fully, you know, make yourself sharp and to go about. But as you're hitting now this point where you're now branding out and expanding your brand that is going to be a representation of you, you want to make sure that there are people who are aligned with your mannerism and your thinking, because it is very difficult to unprogram oneself. Someone, a hard-nosed chef, it's gonna take longer for that chef to then get to the way that you think and the way that you act. Where someone who doesn't, you know, you can teach them how to cook. You can't necessarily teach them in that short amount of time how to be human.
Indeed. But to say that in a sense, the mentors, the guys that I really look up to, they reach out to me and they show me a lot of love. Like, a lot of guys that I work with at the university, they reach out all the time, let me know if I ever need a hand or help, if there's anything they could do for me. And they're proud, and they take pride in, you know, seeing me grow. So yeah, that's the backside of it, because a lot of those guys are great guys, right? Just when they're in the kitchen, they locked in and cooking, you know, they come old school, 20, 30 plus years of cooking. So like you said, it's hard to change that in a person, but when they see somebody like me that's young and vibrant, bringing something new to the game, they really respect it, I guess, in a sense, right? Because they can see where I'm going and where I'm trying to take it to. So yeah, definitely, man, for all the youngsters, right? And the OGs, right? That's how you connect. That's how you connect right there, you know, learning and listening to the older, but also, you know, showing them that I'm listening and learning, but I'm also adapting, right, to what's going on with the young generation and with the new style of cooking. And I'm trying to implement both. So there's ways, I'm saying that to say, to connect both generations, you learning from both. There's the older guys can teach you, and then the new guys got some knowledge too, yeah. So that's how you bridge the gap.
Bridging the Gap on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ Bluez is in the building with the alley-oop. Behind the brand. Chef Aaron Lee, great to have you on Behind the Brand, which leads to my next question. Financing, getting your budget in right. How do you maintain it? You don't have to give the specific numbers if I can barely speak, but just how do you manage being a budget just on your own? Because food's expensive. Yeah. Food is really expensive. And especially trying to find the right product for your right guest that you are serving. So please talk about that.
Yeah, food is expensive. The best thing to do is just got to charge accordingly. Like people say, oh, it's expensive, it's this and that. But like you said, food is expensive. And right now it's even more expensive because it's scarce. It's harder to find certain things. Like, you know how hard it is to find a deep hotel pan right now? Like a 5, like it's extremely hard. And if you find one single, it's like $6 for one deep hotel pan. You might need 7 of them just to, you know, to steam some stuff for your shapers. So stuff like that. And that's an aluminum one. I'm not gonna tell you how much a stainless, you know? So just something small like that. But you just gotta charge accordingly. To be honest, nowadays, like, you know, if people really want you to come, you gotta charge accordingly and make sure that, you know, you add in and implement and all the things. This isn't the time right now to be like, okay, you gotta work with people's budget. Like obviously, if you know somebody else, there's people that reach out to me who don't have it like that, right? And those that you work with their budgets, but you gotta charge accordingly. That's the best thing. That's what I had to learn, because at the end of the day, you need money to cover the cost. You got to profit. And now this is how I'm living. I got bills and stuff to pay as well. So that's the biggest thing for your budget, is really just making sure you're charging accordingly, man. Like, don't be afraid to charge what you need to charge. And then you got to be able to explain that and delegate that. And that's why I feel like I try to give a thorough process, because I want people to feel like they're getting their money's worth. So that's the biggest thing, charging accordingly and budgeting, man. Like as far as not eating out, not doing certain things, right? Got to be smart, cutting expenses. Sometimes you got to shop at 2 and 3 different stores. A lot of things I do like that. I shop on site. I shop like
farmers markets. Do you shop at farmers markets?
Farmers markets, yeah. Farmers markets. You got to get memberships. Like, you know, obviously Depot could be expensive, but yeah, locally sourced. I was working with Gavin New Haven. So that's a farm-based wellness organization where they have like 3 or 4 farms in New Haven, and they give locally sourced vegetables. And I was doing that for 10 weeks with them. Actually, it was a program where they had like a group maybe of 10 to 12 different people, or maybe 20 to 30, I want to say. But they took them on walks. They had programs for them and gave them all type of books and knowledge and information on how to like reduce the risk of high cholesterol and diabetes, high blood pressure. And then what happened is we had sessions every Tuesday and Thursday where they would have dinners, and I would take locally sourced vegetables from the farms and prepare like plant-based meals with them.
That's crazy. That's amazing too.
That's amazing.
Who's this? Who's the organization again? Sorry, just my audio was off on the computer a little bit. I apologize.
It's called it's at Gather New Haven.
At Gather New Haven. Okay, definitely.
Yeah, so check them out. You can at Gather New Haven. You follow them on Instagram, you can see that for sure. They're doing big things right now, man. Like I said, they have multiple community farms in New Haven.
That's crazy.
They always looking for volunteers, so people want to learn how to grow food, you want to learn about crops, if you want to get more information on locally sourced vegetables and things of that nature, check out Gather New Haven, man. They're doing some really good stuff, man, for sure.
They're fantastic. Oh yeah, no, they're fantastic. They're actually going to be
crazy.
I believe CT Rocks Festival, the spring edition is going to be donating part of the door charges to Gather New Haven and Musical Intervention this year. Gather New Haven's across from Leap. So I've known about them for a while because my younger kids went to Leap. So I've always seen their bins and stuff like that. They are absolutely fantastic and absolutely amazing. I love a lot of the stuff that New Haven actually does in a farm aspect. You know, they have the farming high school. They also have, or we'll call it the agricultural high school. But also in some of the other spots, there are gardens and stuff that they're teaching children the importance of it. You know, knowing where your food comes from is extremely important. Right. Understanding what can be in that soil is extremely important. Understanding that the high fluoride can affect the taste of the dough is extremely important. All of those things are just, that is so necessary. And then to find out, you know, yes, we have food crisis. And yes, because our population is growing the way that it's growing, we are going to have to start looking at other types of options. So you are going to have to deal with some genetically altered materials that are out there. But the more we can know about the ground, the more we can know about the natural basis of food, the better we are going to be moving forward. And we can then supplement a lot more, you know, no matter what. So I appreciate everything they do.
That's something we've been working on, man. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but they have, New Haven has started, the New Haven food policy has started the first urban agricultural. Mm-hmm. And I'm fortunate to be one of the board members. We meet every once a month.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man, for like the last 5 to 6 months. And that's pretty much what we've been touching on, figuring out how we can revitalize the land, how we can use up more space to grow more farms, how we can get more people in tune and in touch with locally sourced farming and locally sourced vegetables and fruits, and really just trying to get as much information so that we can increase the access to food in the urban communities. So definitely, man, y'all be looking out for that too. Think that we're gonna start getting and doing some things some outreach. So hopefully, man, we can link up, you know, on this again one time. You know?
Of course.
Definitely.
Well, and not only that, but you know, if any type of advertising we can do for you guys or highlight and promote for that, we will definitely do that. Also, we can put on events. You guys need capital raised. Let's reach out to the musician community that we have, you know, and say, hey, this is a great cause. Come volunteer your time to do this show, and let's raise some money for this incredible cause. You know, this is, again, one of the reasons why we have this show is so that we can make these connections with people. You know, and each like the community of New Haven isn't just a music-based community, isn't just a business-based community. It is something that is all together. And as we can all start to work together better, we can then build up New Haven to where it should be. You know, I would love to see, you know, it blows my mind that we are not taking advantage of how many rooftops we have, you know, downtown. You know, there's no reason why we don't have rooftop gardens. It's important. It's necessary. But, you know,
talk that. 100% right, man. That's what it's about, man, you know? That's amazing. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Wow, I got to mention that. I ain't trying to steal it, but I definitely got to mention that, you know, for sure.
It's not stolen. It's given freely. But unfortunately, like everything else, when we're having the grand old time, the Apollo curtain is starting to close through. We want to give all this opportunity for you, Aaron, to promote heartfelt foods, heartfelt gathering, heartfelt everything, and tell them how they can get in touch with you, how they can book you, and please just don't talk so much more in detail about your delicious food. I'm hungry. All right, you hurt my feelings.
Water in the entire time during the show, easy.
Definitely, man. Y'all can check me out on Instagram at Heartfelt Eating. Check me on my website out at www.heartfelteating.com. My YouTube page has been up, which I'm trying to add more to now. So that's something I'm gonna be working on. You can find I think it's Heartfelt Catering LLC. That should pop that up. I got a food truck that I invested in, y'all. So
Ooh.
The food truck, be looking out for that this spring or the summer, man. That's gonna be the Heartfelt Eating truck. That should be pretty dope. Still working on it, getting some things together on it. But hopefully by the spring, summertime, I can have the truck up and running too. So y'all check that out for sure, man. And yeah, man, just add me on Instagram. Like I said, hit the website up. But yeah, that's where y'all can find me at, man, for sure. I'm gonna be coming out with the merch, Heartfelt Catering hats. I got aprons, the t-shirts. That's new things I'm trying to implement too. So y'all be on the lookout for that as well, man. Thank y'all for your time. I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure.
Last minute left in the broadcast, Aaron. Any advice that you would give to somebody who wants to go a similar path as yours?
You just gotta be, stay foolish, man. Stay foolish, you know. Don't listen to people, man, you know. Trust your gut, trust your heart. Keep God first. Pray, meditate, you know, go for the things you want, man. Cut off bad energy. Cut off anybody who's not really trying to be there for you, friends. You got to go full. You got to really lock in 100%. That would be my best advice to you. Keep God first. Keep your faith strong and go for it, man. You know, reach your heights. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to push the bar, you know. Don't be afraid to think outside the box.
Aaron, happy to see the evolution out of you. Yes, happy about your success and your continued success in your life of making great meals for people. Thank you for being part of the program, brother. Absolutely, man. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ Bluez is in the building. And this has been Behind the Brand on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, New Haven.
Peace.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Spending time all alone, sending my songs through the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope